WWE Extreme Rules 2013 pay-per-view results show. I know it's been a little crazy, haven't put a lot of videos up, and I do apologize for that, but that has all changed. Let's get into it, y'all. Pro Wrestling Unleashed.weebly.com, Next Generation Wrestling.weebly.com, 2xsun.com, Wrestling.com, all that good stuff. Following on Twitter, Facebook, all that good stuff. Kicks off pre-show. The Miz defeats Cody Rhodes. Miz returned. You know, simple math, simple wrestling knowledge. Face goes over, gets the crowd into it. Kick off the pay-per-view with Chris Jericho defeating Fandango. I was actually expecting more going into this match, and not to say they didn't deliver, but I thought they could do a little bit better. I thought their WrestleMania match was a lot better, a lot quicker pace, stuff like that. The next match for the U.S. Championship is going to be Dean Ambrose challenging against Kofi Kingston for the belt. Dean Ambrose actually wins this match. No surprise here. This was actually a good match. You felt, though, that they were kind of holding that just a little bit and they could do a lot better. It almost felt like if you're on Monday Night Raw, you get more time. And I think they would have got more time. They're definitely going to have a rematch. Wouldn't surprise me if WWE overboards it and has a match on tonight. Hopefully not. Hopefully they leave it to pay-per-view, which is Payback in June. But either way, a good match. A strap match, Sheamus versus Mark Henry. It was what it was. They used the gimmick very well. I'm not saying this was the greatest match of all time, but I'm not also saying it's the worst match of the night, or of the year, I guess. You have two big guys that no one really cares about. I thought that they used the strap very, very well. They made it feel like a strap match. I did like the WWE had lights on there. Maybe they've had in a while, but they haven't had a strap match in a while. So it was good to see it return. Wouldn't say I want it like every year, but you know, it's something different. I like it. Sheamus ends up defeating Mark Henry. Before the I Quit #1 Contenders World Championship match, Zeb Coulter does a promo about Del Rio. Every time he's on the mic, it's golden in my opinion. Wow, I messed that up. Alberto Del Rio versus Alberto Del Rio. Gonna have to change that. It was actually Alberto Del Rio versus Jack Swagger. Yeah, I botched that up. As we're doing this live, I'm changing this. It was actually Alberto Del Rio versus Jack Swagger, not Alberto Del Rio versus himself. I'll have to change that on all the sites. That'll be fun. But either way, the problem I have with WWE on some of these matches is you see them on Monday Night Raw over and over and over. You see them on Main Event or SmackDown over and over and over. And so when they hype up these feuds and they hype up these matches, they don't feel important anymore. How many times in the last month have you seen Jack Swagger versus Alberto Del Rio? Saw him a couple times before WrestleMania. You saw him at WrestleMania, and then you saw him even more on Monday Night Raw and SmackDown. At a point, you got to be like, okay, you know, they might change it here and there of who wins, but at the end of the day, I'm tired of seeing them. When they go on a pay-per-view and they have this huge stipulation, you kind of already know who's going to win, and it's very annoying by WWE. I feel like I'm seeing the same rerun over and over and over. And on this, it was kind of like that. They did what they could. They had Jack Swagger. He put Alberto Del Rio in a ankle lock, and Ricardo had the towel, and he was about to throw in the towel. And Del Rio said, "Don't throw in the towel." And Zeb Coulter came over there and knocked Ricardo out of the way and threw in the towel. The referee saw the towel, so we automatically thought, hey, he threw in the towel, match is over with, he quit. Well, another referee comes down here, and I've never seen this in WWE, TNA, or any wrestling promotion at that point. And he said, you know what? No, Zeb Coulter did it. Look at the replay. So he goes over to the ring announcers, and he goes over to the bell keeper, and this guy just picks up a monitor out of nowhere, puts it on the barricade, and shows the referee like he's in the freaking NFL, NBA, baseball. You got instant replay in wrestling? So, the referee's, alright, I see that. I'm going to redo the match. It kicks off, and then bam, Alberto Rio gets an armbar right off the bat for the win. So you have a new number one contenders, excuse me, for the World Championship, and he should face Dolph Ziggler at pay-per-view at Payback. I don't like the replay thing. Wrestling doesn't have replays, but it is what it is. Very predictable pay-per-view in my point, but also it's what we want. We wanted the Shield as champions. We didn't want to see Jack Swagger versus Dolph Ziggler again. Necessarily, we don't want to see Alberto Rio versus Dolph Ziggler, but we would take that over Swagger any day. Tornado Tag Team Championship match, The Shield, Roman Reigns and Seth Future Rollins taking on Team Hell No. Shield wins this one. A lot of people said, you know what, I would just rather see a normal tag team match out of these two. I like the Tornado Tag. It's different. You see these guys in a tag match pretty much every week. Either it's a tag match, it's a six-man tag. You just see it too much. So you throw in that Tornado style, which you haven't seen in a while, and it makes it a little different. And I liked it. Was it hard to cover? Absolutely. But you know what? It's the quality of the match, and the quality of the match delivered. The next match, Extreme Rules match, Randy Orton versus The Big Show. Orton won. He hit the punt. The punt is returned, and then he hit a RKO. No, he hit an RKO, and then hit him with a chair. Big Show speared him, and then Orton comes back and hits the punt for the win in his hometown. So that's cool. Once again, no one really cares. Not to say that we don't care about Randy Orton or Big Show, because in their own aspects, they have something that they offer differently. But these two paired up, no one really cared about. WWE Championship match, a last man standing match, a lot better than I thought it was. It was a hard fought, hard hitting match. Who did not main event, which I thought was a really good call, because granted, Lesnar, Triple H are not there, Triple H is, but they're not there all the time, but they deserve the main event, especially over the build they've had in this match, in the WWE Championship match. Not a very good build, and they made the right decision with the co-main event. The end of the match came when they were up on the stage, and Cena was hitting with a fire extinguisher, and then bam, out of nowhere, Ryback picks him up and pretty much spears him through the stage. Not a lot of over pyro. A lot of internet people are giving this finish, either good or bad feedback. I thought it was a smart call. Granted, I don't want this feud to continue at all, but the matches, they're not that bad. It just seems like by the time you get to their segment on Monday Night Raw, you are so burnt out and you're so ready for that show to end that you don't really give this feud a chance to grow. So maybe that's the problem. But this match ends in a no contest. Sorry, I'm very scared today. Steel cage match, Brock Lesnar. He defeats Triple H. Triple H, he got a sledge out of the top of the cage. It's a new cage. We have the photo up on the site, ProWrestlingLunch.weeble.com. Grabs the sledgehammer, and it was camouflaged. And Paul Heyman ended up in the cage, so he low-blowed him. Lesnar grabbed the sledgehammer hit Triple H in the face. Then he hit him with the F5 for the win and walked out. So this ends this feud. Good call by WWE. Triple H did not need to go over. I'm a mark for Triple H. I'm a mark for Brock Lesnar. They made the right decision with Brock Lesnar going out, because he's going to need matches down the line, and Triple H can actually come back at any time and get a reaction like no other. And this loss really is hurting. This pay-per-view, I thought this was a very good pay-per-view by WWE. Even though I'm wearing a TNA shirt. The rating, I guess I would give it an 8. You really didn't have any bad matches. You had matches you really didn't care about, but if you're an internet mark like myself, an internet writer, then you got what you wanted out of this pay-per-view. What do y'all think? Leave it in the comments area below. I got to write a review today. It'll probably go up tomorrow. We got Monday Night Raw coverage tonight. So, what do y'all think? Leave it in the commentary below. Follow me on Twitter, like me on Facebook, all that good stuff. You know what to do. Thanks for sticking in here. Thank y'all for the support. We'll see you next time here for YouTube. WWE Extreme Rules 2013 pay-per-view results.